Tonight, authorities on high alert, with hot and windy weather predicted for our region. And an emotional opening ceremony held in Port Augusta to mark the start of NAIDOC Week.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening, everyone. First tonight, South Australia can expect some wild weather in the next few days, with scorching temperatures and strong winds predicted. Emergency service crews urging residents to remain vigilant and have their bushfire survival plans in place.
Sweltering under the sun, hot weather has finally hit the regions.
Closer to summer now, so not unusual to get the hot conditions, and as troughs and cold fronts move across, it's fairly usual to get thunderstorms as well through spring.
Warnings are in place for much of the state, with forecasts of strong winds and temperatures nudging 40 degrees.
Conditions will become very windy on Tuesday. The northerly wind will bring some hot and dry air down from the north of the state over southern districts.
Emergency service crews working around the clock, warning residents to prepare their bushfire plans.
Coming right up close to a potentially high-risk day. It's sort of those last-minute preparations that can make a real difference.
In readiness for this incoming weather, just making sure that we're ready to assist our units if needed and other agencies as required.
Farmers are also warned to remain vigilant, with the conditions having the potential to create harvest chaos.
Harvesting code of practice, and that you cease those harvesting operations when the FDI gets above 35 to ensure that you're minimising the risk of any significant fire starts occurring.
Strong marine winds are predicted for tomorrow across the Spencer Gulf, with residents and holidaymakers being urged to keep an eye on the latest warnings.
So we communicate very closely with emergency services, particularly the CFS in these sort of high fire danger situations.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The South Australian Government will inject $18.3 million to jumpstart the transition to electric vehicles. The cash boost will increase the amount of charging stations across the state, with the government to also electrify their fleet.
Accelerating the shift to electric. The state government driving change through a cash injection aimed at increasing electric vehicle sales.
We need to get more and more electric vehicles out and about, and the best way to do that at the moment is to help get the cost of them down and help develop a new electric vehicle charging network throughout the state.
The Electric Vehicle Action Plan will develop new charging infrastructure across South Australia.
That'll be from the Western Australian border all the way down to the southeast and the Northern Territory border.
We've seen a big uplift in the sales of the hybrid models, with some of our most popular models, the RAV4, which is one of our biggest selling cars at the moment. Over 80% of the RAV4 models we sell now are all available, being sold in hybrid.
Federal government projections estimate electric vehicle sales will increase to 8% of new passenger cars by 2025 and 27% by 2030.
People still have the right to make the choice if they prefer a petrol car or a diesel car at this point in time. Of course, they're entitled to make that choice. What we want is for people to consider an electric vehicle.
The government says the action plan is aiming to make electric vehicles the common choice for new passenger vehicles by 2030 and the default choice by 2035.
I think a lot of customers are now starting to learn the technology and understanding it's very fuel efficient, saving them money on fuel, but also good for the environment as well. And I think people are starting to take notice of that.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A 26-year-old Oodla man has been reported for a raft of offences after allegedly being caught with drugs in his vehicle at the Mid-North border checkpoint Thursday night. Just after 5:30, police alleged they could smell cannabis coming from a truck, with patrols drug testing the driver. He allegedly tested positive to cannabis and methamphetamine. A search of the vehicle allegedly revealed illicit drugs, a bong and ice pipe. A 34-year-old male passenger was also issued with a drug diversion notice. And a man will appear in court after he was caught speeding and drink driving near Woomera yesterday. Police detected a driver travelling 128 kilometres in a 110 zone on the Olympic Dam Highway. The driver submitted to a breath test where he allegedly returned a blood alcohol reading of 0.237, almost 5 times the legal limit. The 36-year-old from Roxby Downs was reported for a string of offences. He will appear in court at a later date. Whyalla Airport users can expect to see changes over the coming months, with a major upgrade now underway. The $5.6 million federal government development will improve the airport's security measures. Our reporter Sophia Contagonis has the details.
It's the last time visitors will see this Whyalla Airport in its current form, with a multi-million-dollar upgrade to begin this weekend.
The project was initiated in response to the federal government's requirements in terms of improved safety and amenity for the flying public of Australia. So our airport in future will have full screening facilities.
Partially funded by the federal government, the terminal will be expanded along with improved amenities for travellers.
New ticketing counters, automated carousel for baggage, as well as improved amenities, including a cafeteria for people visiting the airport.
And it's not only limited to the inside.
We're also improving the apron to provide better access and security for the Royal Flying Doctor service, as well as an additional sealed runway and improved lighting.
Council encourage residents to be aware of the changed conditions of the airport with a temporary terminal in place. But with space limited, Council is asking locals to wait outside for pickups and drop-offs.
Please be mindful that we do have flammable materials in proximity, so we encourage people not to smoke.
And with the upgrade comes the hopes that an additional carrier might start flying to and from Whyalla in the near future. Work is expected to be complete by mid to late 2021.
Still to come tonight, the South Australian government prepares to hand down its first post-COVID budget, and NAIDOC Week gets underway across our region. Welcome back. A 20-year-old Ceduna woman has died following a car crash at Coonabar on Thursday night. Emergency services were called to Mickey Free Lorry Drive just after 7. Following reports, a woman had fallen out of a moving vehicle. The woman who was occupying the passenger seat was airlifted to Adelaide, but passed away on Saturday. Investigations are continuing. The South Australian government will hand down its budget for the financial year tomorrow, with the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic expected to rip a hole open in the state finances. Mental health support will receive extra funding when the document is handed down at Parliament House. $15.1 million has been allocated to support South Australians during the pandemic. A mental health care centre will be developed, aimed at diverting patients from emergency departments to more appropriate care. The government will also develop and launch a statewide mental health plan, along with a Towards Zero suicide initiative. And if you or someone you know in your community needs help, support is available over the phone. You can call Lifeline on 13 11 14. NAIDOC Week celebrations have begun across the region, with Port Augusta residents marking the occasion this morning. A new exhibition, Project Your Culture, was officially launched, lighting up the city and showcasing the work of more than 50 local artists.
Celebrating NAIDOC Week.
Happy NAIDOC, everyone. Happy NAIDOC Week, everybody.
The Port Augusta community uniting for the commemorations, beginning the week in traditional fashion.
We started about 5:30 this morning over at Arid Lands at the Lookout when the sun come up. So that's when it started for a smoking ceremony.
But with the pandemic changing the way things look this year, new must-see events have been developed.
There's about 57 art pieces that will be projected through a building and onto a building that will tell the story, basically. Always was, always will be.
It just showcases all the talent that we have in town. You know, throughout the whole year, not a lot of people get their artwork out there, and NAIDOC Week just brings it all together.
Project Our Culture, in partnership with Illuminart, is showcasing the work of over 50 local Aboriginal artists.
There's so much excitement and everyone is just built up. They're really excited because this is the first that we've done, yeah.
acknowledging stories and recognising local art.
Community people are just falling in love with our designs and the colours that we use, and I think it's inspiring people to do their own art. Yeah.
Residents are encouraged to support their local artists.
Shows you what the depth of culture we have in this community of ours in Port Augusta.
The exhibition in projection will run until this Friday at 47 Commercial Road from 8:30 to 11 p.m. Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Meanwhile, children at a popular Wyler childcare centre spent the day diving into a range of NAIDOC activities. Students from neighbouring Hinks Avenue Primary School also getting in on the action, spending the morning learning more about Indigenous culture.
Preparing different forms of Indigenous artwork activities for the children at Community Manu. These Yarning Circle women excited to be celebrating such a meaningful week.
NAIDOC Week is a week where we can celebrate Aboriginal culture, we can together have an appreciation of our Aboriginal culture.
Students from Hinks Avenue Primary School also walking into the fun, participating in different painting and weaving activities.
Designing knives and forks, story stones, redesigning the poster in a 3D effect.
The children also trying some delicious kangaroo meatballs and sausage rolls. One of the Yarning members also painting this Indigenous art piece. They then showed the children how different community members can sit together in a circle on the ground, or Mother Earth as they call it, and celebrate each other. It's all part of this centre's effort to teach the students more about Indigenous culture.
I keep on going back to our Yarning group, how strong they have brought our community together, and putting this on is pretty special.
I'm having lots of fun painting. I'm really excited to be learning about NAIDOC Week.
The group is also holding a weaving basket class this Wednesday as part of the ongoing celebrations. Members encouraging locals to participate. Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us. Regional sport facilities set for a cash splash. And the RAA warns us to be safe on the roads as the holiday season approaches. A new RAA travel survey has revealed South Australians are opting to escape to the country for a holiday. Clare Valley tourism operators say they are reaping the benefits, welcoming a record number of visitors through the region over the past few months.
Holidaymakers are flocking in droves, with a new RAA survey showing an increase in visitors to regional South Australia.
So we're seeing in our latest survey that 34% of our respondents actually are looking at a York Peninsula trip, and 26% are looking at the Eyre Peninsula as well.
With COVID-19 restrictions now lifted, South Australians are exploring their own backyard.
It's really opened up our state's eyes to South Australia, and when it's taken away that you can't go outside the border, people have looked within the border.
People are reporting that they've got bookings through all through now, and some operators even up till February.
34% say they'll visit the famous wine region of Clare Valley in the next 12 months. Tourism operators are looking forward to the influx.
We've had a really good season since we reopened in June, and sort of everywhere people are talking about how this has been one of the best years that they've had in quite a few years.
The Valley's diverse range of activities credited for luring tourists to the area.
We're finding that we've got all ages here, and the good thing is that we've got product that suit all ages as well.
The RAA also now offering online safety tips for those considering travelling this summer.
Actually are looking at a driving holiday this year that they may not have been considering last year.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Regional sport clubs and associations across South Australia will soon be able to score a share of $35 million through a new round of grants. The state government announcing 2 new funding streams that can be used for infrastructure upgrades. $25 million is available for grassroots football, netball and cricket facility improvements, while $10 million has been earmarked for infrastructure upgrades that allow for use by a number of different sports and activities. The money will be split over the next 2 financial years. An additional piece of architecture has been added to the Wyler Jetty, paying tribute to a local icon. The colourful cuttlefish seating bench, created by art company Squash Cocky, was installed over the weekend. Tying in with the theme of Whyalla, this handmade creation made up of mosque tiles took hundreds of hours to put together. It now lives at the beginning of the walkway, with residents soon able to sit and enjoy the view. Quorn residents are being asked to join in the festive cheer with this year's Christmas lights competition. Residents are being urged to light up their homes, businesses and streets for the chance to win a special prize. Judging will be held on the 21st of December, with the winners to be announced on Christmas Eve. Registration forms for the event are available at the Flinders Ranges Visitor Information Centre. Entry costs $5, with all proceeds helping to fund next year's competition. Stay with us after the break. Alex Sykes will join us with all the latest weather details. That's coming up next. Hello again. As you heard earlier tonight, it's set to be a hot one tomorrow, with high temperatures, strong winds and thunderstorms predicted across our region. With all the latest weather details, here's Alex Sykes.
Good evening. That's right, John. Tomorrow is set to bring gusty and hot temperatures, but today saw some much calmer conditions. From 3 p.m, Port Augusta reached a top of 35, mostly sunny. Similar conditions for Port Lincoln, 28 degrees. It was very hot in Woodna, 35 degrees. Taking a look at the rest of the region, Whyalla mostly sunny, getting to a high of 35. Broken Hill partly cloudy and a top of 33. Port Pirie reached a top of 34 degrees. Kadina partly cloudy, also 34. Cleve mostly sunny, also reaching 34 degrees in the afternoon. Clare 29 and Adelaide partly cloudy, reaching 32. Cloud over eastern and southeastern SA with a weak trough causing a few showers with the odd storm in the northeast. Cloud in the northwest near a trough is not yet producing rain. Clear skies elsewhere under a weakening ridge of high pressure. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. Northeasterly 10 to 20 knots, seas 1 to 1.5 metres. Swell south to southwesterly 1 to 1.5 metres. Port Lincoln 38 degrees with possible storms. Cleve thunderstorms set to reach a top of 39 degrees tomorrow. Woodna will be very hot and windy, predicted to reach a high of 41 degrees. Whyalla very hot with possible storms, 39. The same for Port Augusta. Kadina can expect showers and a possible storm with 35 degrees. Port Pirie, showers and storms expected, 37 the top. Similar conditions in Clare with a maximum of 35, and Broken Hill will be sunny and windy with 35 expected also. Taking a look further through the week now, looks like windy conditions and storm will carry through into Wednesday. Cooper Pedy fine with a predicted max of 31. 35 and showers for Broken Hill. Windy conditions for Woodna and Whyalla with tops of 25 and 29 respectively. Showers and 22 in Port Lincoln. Possible storms and 26 expected for Kadina, and Adelaide should be mostly fine and 26 degrees also. Conditions starting to clear with milder temperatures expected on Thursday. Cooper Pedy mostly sunny, expected to reach a high of 27. The same for Port Augusta and Broken Hill. Woodna will be mainly overcast and 21 degrees. Showers and a top of 19 for Port Lincoln and Adelaide. And Port Pirie should be mostly sunny with a maximum of 23. Mild and mostly sunny conditions on Friday. Cooper Pedy will have clear skies and a top of 30 degrees. Sunny for Broken Hill with a top of 25. Mostly sunny in Port Augusta with a top of 26. Similar conditions for Woodna and a degree cooler. Port Pirie 22, Kadina 20, and possible showers for Adelaide with a top of 19. And that's all the weather from me. It's back to you.
Thanks for that, Alex. And that's your local news this Monday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later, and we will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Until then, on behalf of the news team, enjoy your evening. Good night.